Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Funded Trader YouTube channel. Today, we have another special guest who just claimed another $50,000 funded. Without further ado, please introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is JR. A lot of my friends call me JR, but my actual full name is Joshua Rivers. And welcome to the channel, man. Let's get it.
Sounds good, man. And where do you live?
I actually currently reside in Chicago, Illinois. I grew up here my whole life. And then I recently had moved to Evanston, Illinois around the age of like 15, 16. So I grew up there for pretty much my teenage years for the most part.
What is your educational background?
So I did the typical, the usual, kindergarten through high school. Venturing off into college, the background of my family, my brother is actually the only one to graduate from college. I was actually a college dropout. So I did 3 years of college. I went to Florida in West Palm Beach. That was an experience in itself. It taught me a lot of things. I learned a lot of new stuff about myself and just how to be in the world. Just in today's society, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So being by yourself and being like that independent adult, kind of straying away from home, it was definitely something that I had to get used to and something that took a lot of time. But yeah, as far as college, I guess that's pretty much the full spiel. After my 2 years at West Palm, I did a third year at Florida Atlantic, which is in Boca Raton. It's a little town like right outside of Fort Lauderdale. I want to say it's about like 15 to 30 minutes from there. And after that year, I just knew like college wasn't for me. So, I decided to venture off into new things, which eventually led me to what I'm currently doing now.
Yeah, so the weather is definitely different from Chicago to Florida. You have such cold winters, and then bam, Florida, the most humid place on the planet, from what I hear.
Yeah,
I
man,
mean,
it's
the CEO lives in Angelo. He lives in Florida, so I mean, one of these days you'll have to have a meetup or something.
yeah, man, we'll definitely have to touch base. It was crazy because when I initially, looked into the funded trader, I like to do my research and see like who's running the prop firm and like all the higher ups. And I did notice that he was from Fort Lauderdale, or actually he resides in Fort Lauderdale. And so that was just, kind of mind blowing to me, just given the fact that I went to school down there and it was actually pretty recent. So I probably might have ran into him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, small world, it always happens like that. You're just at any random place and you just meet someone in the most just it's crazy
Yeah.
how coincidental things can be. And what do you actually do for work?
Well, as of now, I'm currently full-time training, man. I quit my job to actually do this. I mean, I had a huge belief, it was crazy because I've had a lot of jobs. I've been working since I was like 14, since like my freshman year in high school, I've been working, man. So I've had a lot of miscellaneous jobs just to get by. But I think I found something, that fits me and that I can really take to the moon and like change things for the better for me and my loved ones.
Yeah, because I mean, this type of opportunity, like not even if you think about it, not many people even know what this is, you know? Not many people
Exactly.
even know what every time I say, "Oh, I'm a trader," they're like, "Oh, you trade stocks? You trade this?" I'm like, "No, I trade
Right.
forex, the biggest market in the world. Like people
Seven
are
trillion
7
dollar market a
trillion a
day.
day. Like, yeah, oh wow, your stock is moving, you know, billions per day, but it's literally trillions per day moved by these
Exactly.
banks, hedge funds, and it's so crazy that like once you get into it and you become truly successful, like you can make astronomical types of bills. Like you can get payouts of hundreds of thousands. Like we will see this coming day or even Monday, there will be the most crazy payout I think in history. So
Wow.
be on the lookout for that, guys. Truly, this is the blessed opportunity of the millennium, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's the good way to put it, really, man.
And how did you actually start out in forex?
Well, actually, the way I started out in forex was my brother. So he actually put me on to everything. I really can't thank him enough. I mean, without him, I really don't know where I would be right now. I was pretty lost trying to figure out like what I wanted to do with my life. Like I knew I wanted to live comfortably and live a good life and help my family out, but like I just couldn't really pinpoint like what exactly could take me to that next level. And my brother, being a genius that he is, introduced me to this, man. And it was just like ever since he introduced me to this, I knew from day one, like, yeah, this is something I could see myself doing. And ever since I took the time out to actually read and learn like how the market works, because a lot of people want to get into it, but they don't really, they got to understand like this shit takes time, man. Like it's all a patience game. And like, yeah, so basically how I pretty much got into Forex was my bigger brother, man. LaPonce Wade, shout out him, man.
Oh, I actually just interviewed him. Are you serious?
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I just interviewed him. So
Yeah,
that's why
yeah,
I
that's my
said
brother, man.
from Chicago. That's crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to LePons. The boy is a legend on the charts, man.
Yeah, definitely a
So
legend, definitely.
yeah, man. Good to meet you, man. Your brother is a
Thank you.
super cool dude, and you as well, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man.
And so why did you actually end up picking the funded trader out of all the prop firms?
I think something that the funded trader has that a lot of prop firms don't have is just, really the time limit on, being able to access funds as quickly as possible. And now I know that we work in a market where patience is very, it's basically like the thing you need the most when, trying to be a good trader. And so I don't stray away from that at all. But when you're given an opportunity like TFT does, when you have an account where you can get right away in 12 hours your second step, and then boom, you're funded within the next 48 hours. And then after that, you have a withdrawal date for 2 weeks, I mean, you really can't beat it, man. There's other prop firms out here like FTMO and a few other ones like I think it's called Top Speed or something Top. I forgot what it's called,
Prop
but
funding. There's all
yeah,
these
yeah,
different.
something like that. But yeah, I think TFT, man, it's on the rise for sure. And it being a newly embedded prop firm, I feel like a lot of people will really catch on quick as they already have. And I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know they're going to do a lot of great things in the future. So that's what really drew me towards TFT. Just the time frame of actually being able to access funds and not having to wait like 50 plus days, 2 months, and whatnot.
And so what do you think of the funded traders community?
Yeah, so I recently just been in the community. After I got funded, I joined the Discord. And so I started chatting in the chat with a few people. I sent a few screenshots of my profits for demoing when I was practicing for my phases. And so I like the community so far. I have nothing bad to say about it. I think it's like I said, it's a growing community and the numbers are only going to get bigger. We're only going to hopefully be giving out more payouts to everybody and hopefully people can learn from each other. I think that's the best thing about it is that you can actually learn different strategies from other people. And so as far as the community, I think it's in a really good place and I look forward to seeing where it is in a few more months and even years.
Yeah, because some of these payouts that I get to post, I post the payouts. I'm over here writing captions like some award-winning author.
Yeah, I'll be seeing that, man. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, but just like they're so motivational, like
No, yeah,
people trade and they click a few buttons and they're getting 50Ks, 30Ks. Like that's just it's so mind-blowing because it really is possible. Like if you just keep
exactly,
on working, no matter how long it takes, you will and you can get to your destination. You just have to not quit because if you
exactly,
quit, that's the only time you've lost. If you quit, you lose. If you keep going, you win. It's as simple as that.
Simple as that, man. Couldn't have said it any better, honestly.
And is there something that you wish you did differently when you first started?
Yeah, definitely. And it's basically piggybacking off what I spoke on earlier, which is, the patience, man. I came into the trading scenery. Um, I want to say actually it's basically like my 1 year anniversary now. Maybe like a year and like a few months. But anything I would change differently is probably me being impatient about the process I was making throughout last year. I was really hard on myself, man. Really hard on myself. Cause like seeing this for the first time, it's like candy. It's like, no way I can click a button and make this much money in a
Oh
matter of
my goodness,
hours.
bro.
So I'm like, wow, like this is incredible. Like I just found a gold mine. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do now. So I think being one of the biggest factors is the impatience that I had in the beginning. And I think I've really grown as a person from that because I've blown so many accounts, man. But it's all been a lesson just to, get me here where we are today talking to you, man. So it's just a blessing in disguise, honestly. And I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, so a good analogy. I mean, I just thought of this right now. You just said gold mine, it like kind of came to my head. We when we start, we really want to, scale up, level up, make these
Right,
profits like these legends over here. They're making just monster profits, and everyone wants that. But
right,
a good way to think about it is if you actually found it like a gold mine, right? it, in the beginning we see the biggest nugget there is, like we're seeing this $1 million profit. You're
right.
trying to pick up this giant boulder of gold with your hands. You're trying to carry it out of the mine, but
Mhm.
it's just going to keep tumbling down deeper and deeper. But if you start slow and you find these little nuggets that you can carry with your hands, you can take one nugget, bring it to the surface, another one. And over time, you're going to have more than that giant nugget in the end, because all those little profits, they
They add
scale
up.
up, they pile up,
Yeah.
and eventually you're going to have just the world's largest gold nugget. And you're going to be able to buy a giant excavator and go excavate that big old boulder and just you'll be set. So, that's a good way
Yeah.
to see it, because it's too easy to be focused on the monetary side. Once you get down the process, all the
Right.
money just starts scaling up. It's all a matter of numbers. It doesn't matter
Exactly.
whether you're trading 1,000 or 1 million. If you're good at the risk management, if you're good at the leveraging, you will find success if you have a good strategy. So that's a lesson I think all of us need to really take into account and focus on becoming better.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, man, 100%.
And so how much time have you actually dedicated to studying or study now?
Yeah. Well, now it's I don't stray away from the studying. I look at the charts 24/7, man. I can't even lie. I don't even call it studying anymore because it's like it's an everyday routine for me. So I mean, like I would say maybe if I had to give a number, like 8 hours, 12 hours out of the day, because I'm constantly looking at the charts. I'm in a position right now, where I have two accounts, man. So I'm trying my best to get big, not big payouts, but come home with a little something for the hard work I put in for the last year. So I would say studying it takes about a half of the day, about 12 hours.
Do you ever feel like you're over trading, or do you have a habit of doing that?
I've had in the past, I've gotten a lot better with it. In the past, I've had situations where I've I've known I was right and I would go against the grain and, kind of revenge trade, which I highly suggest not doing. We as traders, our strategy is our gold. And so we have so much strong belief in our strategy. It's what makes us our profit. And so when I feel like I'm wrong about something in the past, I would kind of get a little upset with myself and go on like a revenge trade to just make back what I lost. And so in the past, I know that's like never been a good thing. And I think that's something I've really learned to control lately is just having that discipline of okay, there's another day, one, and two, just trust yourself. You know your strategies, you know what you're looking for, you know your setups. Just trust yourself and realize that you're always going to have another day to make more money, man. Like you said, this $7 trillion moving through the market a day. I mean, you're gonna end up with something if you just play your cards right. You'll end up with something.
So here's an example. So let's say it's Monday, start of
Mm.
the week, right? You already take a first trade and you're already up 5%. Are you gonna stop trading for the week, or are you gonna keep trading and try to grow that even more?
I'm all about getting better, man. So I'm gonna keep trading, man. You know, I trust my strategy. I trust myself. I know what I'm looking for. So if I start off the week good, I mean, who's to say it's not going to keep getting better, you know? And you don't know unless you trade. So I think my best advice to that question is, yeah, man, I'll definitely keep trading because I like profit. I like trading, you know. I like winning. So I just think that's just the best way to go about it. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, they hit big, they stop trading for the week, which I highly suggest if you're looking to get a first payout. You know what I'm saying? You want to make some profit. And if you're not feeling too sure about how the week is going later, I'll just suggest, you know, lowering your risk than what you normally put on a trade. So if you've already made 40, 50K on the week and you're trading $150 a pip, I would just, you know, work on working on your risk management as far as, you know, just the leverage you're putting on your trade, just lowering it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much sums up how I go about a good trading week.
Yeah, because there's a difference between if you're up good profits and you keep consistent risk management compared to if you're up, you're like, okay, I can just double my leverage and I'm gonna win way more. As
Exactly.
soon as you do that, you lose. It's a 100% guarantee. It's like
Every time.
as soon as you greed just a little bit, you just want a little bit more. It always comes back. All your profits gone. You actually end up negative. It always happens.
Yeah.
It's like you just have to be consistent and just stay within your plan, stay within your rules, and just, keep on going. And on that same note, what's a hard lesson that trading has taught you?
A hard lesson. I think I think the number one lesson, I know I spoke about this a lot already, the patience, but if I had to give another reason or another example of a lesson I've been taught from trading, hmm, I would probably have to say that it's a constant learning experience every day, man. I feel like there's something the market does every day to, you know, where it teaches you something. I feel like that's the lesson I'm taking away from trading the most. And kind of piggybacking off of the previous question is that there's always another day, you know. I think that's the biggest lesson I could probably take away outside of me being patient. I think realizing that, you know, if I don't have a good trading day today, I always have tomorrow to make back what I lost and even double it. But I think that's my biggest takeaway from the lesson I've learned from trading.
Yeah, realizing that you don't know everything in the market, that's a
Right.
really big thing too. Because obviously, if you knew everything, you'd be up 100% every day. Like
Hey,
if you just
yeah, I'll
knew
be a
where the
trillionaire.
if you knew where the market was heading every second, you would win every single trade. But every day
Yeah,
there's something new to learn. The market can always teach you something new, whether it be how you're holding your trades, when to exit, when to enter, all of the different things the market offers. it offers profits, but it also offers losses,
Yes,
which
sir.
equate to lessons learned if you look at it the right way. And
Yes, sir.
so, what are some of your favorite pairs to trade?
I'm pretty much into the dollar pairs. So basically, like I like pairs that move a lot. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I like to get in pairs that have a little bit of more push to them. So I'm usually in like GB pairs, GB Audi, British pound pairs, basically yen pairs, and like Euro CAD pairs along that line. So anything that's moving like I want to say maybe like 60 to 100 plus pips a day. I try to stay in that ADR range as far as like what pairs I want to get into because I know if I'm going for my profit target, which is usually like anywhere between 25 to 40 pips a day, I'm trying to get into pips, that are going to push more than what I'm going for as far as my profit target. So I just try and stay in those pairs that push a little bit more pips a day because I know I'm getting a little bit of more bang for my buck instead of the ones that are, like pretty slow trending.
And would you say that you're a swing trader, intraday, or more of a scalper?
I would say intraday. Is that kind of like a day trader, right? I don't really know the
Well, yeah, like if you
details.
trade within the time frame of a day, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I would categorize myself as a day trader because like I have day actually separations on my chart, so my chart looks a lot different from yours. But yeah, I would consider myself a day trader.
Do you use any fundamentals within your trading?
Fundamentals as far as like strategy wise.
No, fundamentals is in like the different the different effects like the economic, political, anything that's
Oh,
like impacting the market
uh,
on a like a large scale to where like, oh, this GDP or whatever news comes out, the unemployment rate, stuff like that.
uh. Yeah, I try. Okay, to be honest, I don't, but I do like look into the news. Like I look at the news and I hear about it. I get alerts on my phone and stuff. But my strategy is so concrete into the market. It's not only dealing with like the fundamental aspects, but like my specific strategy is off of straight structure. So I'm literally reading straight structure of what I'm looking for as far as my setups. So I do take the fundamentals into consideration as far as like big news and stuff like that, but it doesn't have a big impact on my trading.
And would you like to give us an insight into your strategy?
Yeah, sure. I'm willing to give a little insight on my strategy.
All right, sounds good. Let's hop onto the charts.
All right. Okay, so you guys see that we're back on the charts and we got the 4 hour here. So pretty much basically giving a little insight on my strategy without pretty much giving everything away is if you look here, we have a 4 hour, which is pretty much in a downtrend, as you can see right now, from what I'm looking at. So if you drop down to the hour window, you'll see how my strategy comes into play as a day trader. So if you look at the bottom of this trade right here, it actually tests the previous day's low. And you see once it tests that low, it never goes back to test it again once it tests the previous low of the day. And you see from there how it shoots up and forms a little structure for a buy position for about 40 pips. I want to say I got in for that position for NCAD. And then as far as my confirmation on the 15, what I'm looking for is for when it closes above my moving averages. So when it's closing above the moving 50, or not, sorry, when it's closing above the moving 50, which is that line it confirms over, and then when it tests that low of yesterday. So those are pretty much two, concepts I use as far as my trading strategy without, giving my whole strategy away. But as you can see, getting in a position like that in NZD CAD, we're in its session and we're at a point where, it, as you can see, it went up 40 pips. in just that little buy for about, I want to say, maybe like a 4 hour candle, actually. 2 4 hour candles, I would say.
Yeah, 4 hours on the dot.
4 hours on the dot. Okay, got you.
And so what kind of win rate and risk to reward does a strategy like this typically have?
I would say starting off, it was about like a 60-40. But once I learned to like master it and like be patient with my strategy, it actually became almost like an 80-20, 90-10. Cause once it's testing these lows and these highs of the days, man, these are really key points in trading. Not a lot of people look into because everybody has their own strategy. But if you take this into account, you can really start to see how you can get in these positions just off of how it's testing these different levels and days, lows of the days and highs of the days. So yeah, but as far as the profit split, I would say I'm at about 80-20, 90-10 so far.
And like what kind of risk to reward are you targeting? Like you said, 30, 40 pips. Do you usually get around like this, 1 to 1.6, or are you over that like 2 or 3?
As far as
Yeah,
the
the risk to reward. Like if you're risking 25 pips, you want to get a multiple of that. So like, 50 pips would be 2 times your risk, you know,
right,
75 would be 3 times your risk. So like
right.
that. Like what are you usually targeting for your risk to reward?
Well, basically what I'm targeting is the 20 to 25 pip stop loss. And for the 40 pip profit target, I'm using that as a form of risk management. So I know if I do lose and I go down 25 pips and it does go back and test that low, in my head, I'm realizing, okay, it's either the market changing its direction to where I have enough cushion to switch my position and still make profit, or I'm waiting for it to confirm to see if it's actually going to go past that low. And if it doesn't, I know to trust myself and know that the position I got in was right and it'll eventually go back up to the trend that we had got in the position to in the first place. So that's kind of basically what I go for as far as risk reward.
Yeah, super. So thanks for giving us a quick insight into your strategy, and let's get out the screen share. And I have just one more question for you, and then that'll wrap up the interview.
Okay, for sure, man. Sounds good.
All right. So for the last question, long term, what do you believe the funded trader will do for the industry?
And long term, I don't know, man. I mean, TFT has some amazing opportunities. I feel like long term, I feel like this prop firm will definitely be a top three prop firm in the world, man. I mean, they have an opportunity here to really do some amazing things. Just piggybacking off of what I spoke on earlier, mentioning how fast it is, to get paid out. These firms aren't offering an incentive like that. They aren't offering 12 hours, you get an account, next step, 2 weeks after that, you're funded. And it has its cons and its pros, especially when you're starting off as a new trader. It's a lot of excitement when you get your first account. So I feel like a con in that would probably be like a newly trader being so excited that he blows so many of those accounts. I mean, good thing for the prop firm, they're making money. But it's not good for the actual customer, the trader that's trying to learn and eventually make something out of it. But yeah, long term, I see TFT as being a top three prop firm for years to come, man. I mean, they got some great stuff, great community. You're a cool guy, man. I can't even lie, bro. I love the interview with you. You made it real easy for me, and you guys got a good thing going, and I'm loving it so far. I have no complaints.
Yeah. Thank you for the kind words. I feel, I'm blushing over here. Oh my gosh, stop, bro.
Stop, man.
Stop, bro.
Stop.
Stop, bro. Come on, G. Yeah, but it was really nice to meet you. You know, shout out to your brother LaPonce, also a great guy. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
blessed. I'm blessed to meet another member of the Wade family. And you know, thank you to everyone who was able to watch to the end. Tune in next time for all the different account reviews, interviews we have with traders, and all of the other cool videos that we have planned for the future. Leave a like, you know, subscribe, and show some support, you know, for these legendary traders that we're interviewing, man.
Yes,
Like
sir.
they're changing the game with these strategies, payouts, man. It's truly an honor to sit in the royal throne room with these
Yes,
with these
sir.
legends. So thank you all for watching and tune in next time.
Subscribe, y'all.